Are you ready to perform at your highest potential? Welcome to the Performance Matters podcast from GP Strategies, your talent transformation partner. In each episode, we'll interview industry experts and explore best practices and innovative insights to help your organization improve performance. How should companies be thinking about leadership development or leader development in the technical work environment?
Yeah, I mean, a couple points on that, Michael. So look at it, it really should be part of the plan from day one, right? It's first people need to learn how to manage themselves, right? Understand how to listen, how to work together in a team environment, right? Those are all skills that develop that leadership quality or leadership traits that you want people to have. Then as they grow, right, they learn how to manage and support others and ultimately lead larger teams and organization, right? Good workers aren't always good leaders, right? And you see it in every industry, right? I can go down the line. You'll see, it's natural for someone to say, hey, that's the good guy over there, or that person over there, she knows exactly how to do all of this super well. So, she should be the next manager, right? But yet she has no skill set in it, right? They promote people based on the quality maybe of being a good technician or being the person who can get people to get along, but not give them those formal skill sets that they need, right? You need to build that into the plan, prepare them for that role, right? Or else it's a recipe for failure, right? Skills like team management, conflict resolution, decision making, even change management, those true frontline leadership skills are important, right? And then you go and you say, okay, now that person becomes that individual and they develop those skills. Now you start to look at, okay, what can you then bolt on to that, right? And they then have to have better, or I'll say more developed understandings of organizational type of leadership and managing larger groups, right? Those are all development efforts that as people mature, you hope they do mature through an organization. And you don't see it as much today, but I think if you do it right, and this is, it's people may argue this, but I think if you do it right and you find that right individual who's quick on the uptake, who can understand, who can deliver, if you put them in that right path, you can develop that person in a few years to really take on more responsibility and take on people, even if they're coming from a non-technical background. It is more challenging. I'm not going to say that's an easy thing, but it can be done. But again, it really all starts with that plan. And if you've got the plan and they're engaged in wanting to work that plan, you really can develop those people from someone who's right out of a formal, maybe formal education, or they come from an industry where they did it for a long time and they've got experience in the workforce, right? You have to look at those qualities that everyone brings and then build on them. And if you find those individuals, I think you can do it. You're not going to need 15 years to put someone into a role like that. I don't think you need it. But, again, that might be debatable by some, but I think in today's changing environment, changing organizational world of, keeping people for many years, I don't think that they have that advantage. You just don't see it as much. So
Right.
that's what I would say about that leadership. And GP is super with that.
The Performance Matters podcast is brought to you by GP Strategies. Together, we can create a world where business excellence makes possibilities achievable. You can subscribe to the show anywhere you get podcasts or listen on our website at gpstrategies.com.